So it's Sunday, the beginning of a new vlog, and I'm here with my intentions for the week. And one intention is actually going to be in regards to another project. So I've been working on this Bible study project where I read the Bible within a year. But what happens is I keep procrastinating, and I end up spending like a whole day. Like yesterday, I think I spent like 6 hours working on this. And it's kind of stressful. So I want to spread out the work over more days. So I'm making an intention this week to do, most of my daily readings in a day instead of cramming them all into a week and then doing all the research and getting frustrated and tired and stuff. Spoiler alert, I totally failed at this and ended up cramming it all into one day again. And totally forgot to mention that in my wrap up for the week. Yeah, you don't always complete what you need to or intend to do in a week. Then I want to definitely finish Radicalized by Cory Doctorow. There's 2 more stories left in here. I don't know which stories they are. Radicalized is the one that I'm on currently. So there we go. I can't tell you what they're about because I don't know. And then I want to finish A Small Game Hunting at the Local Coward Gun Club by Megan Gale Coles. These 2 books are for Canada Reads, and there's 3 other books I have to get through. So what I've been doing with Radicalized is I've been just reading the stories in one sitting each because they're so readable. So I'm gonna start another Canada Reads book, and I think it's gonna be Son of a Trickster by Eden Robinson. Yeah, and I'll read that after I finish Radicalized. Oh, that's Son of a Trickster. After I finish Radicalized. And I'm going to continue kind of slowly making my way through the rest of The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. And still don't think I'm anywhere near the end of How the World Thinks. It's a very long audiobook, so we'll continue on with that this week. So that's it. See you later on this week. So it's my mom's birthday on Wednesday, and she loves Harry Potter. So I've decided I'm going to try and make her a Harry Potter wreath. I don't buy her Harry Potter things anymore because she has Harry Potter things, but there is a bit of an exception. They have these Harry Potter keychains at the dollar store that I picked up for her. She already has 3 of them, so I got her 6 more, and hopefully she'll get all of them now. So I finished my mom's wreath for her birthday tomorrow. It looks a bit more Christmassy than I intended, but it is the Gryffindor colors, red and gold. So, I mean, it is quite Christmassy, so I put some white flowers on to kind of break it up. And then I put a little scar on this pillow in red and gold as well. So I'm reading today. It's a Tuesday. I normally film, but I actually filmed on Sunday. So I just edited some stuff today, and that was all I had to do. And I watched some stuff, but I have this nagging at the back of my head that I really have to finish my Canada Reads book, so that's what I'm doing. I'm on now page 164 of Radicalized. It's the 3rd story. Very interesting concept. Very scary look at Canada, Ontario, this is a possible future if Ford gets what he wants. About privatized healthcare and insurance and all that stuff that's going on in the States. And I'm surprised that the story in here hasn't happened in real life yet, because I don't agree with the actions of the person. They blow up a building, the insurance building, but you can definitely see why they would do something like that. So it's interesting that you're getting to sympathize with, they don't want to call them a terrorist, they say, but with someone who blew up a building and killed a bunch of people. Also on here, I started Son of a Trickster. I think I read like 80 pages of that last night. It's so readable. I'm not too sure how I feel about it yet. The characters are definitely interesting. Yeah, it's I'll talk further about that when I've actually read it and in a review. And I'm still going with Small Game Hunting. And I just wanted to show you under here, I have a kitten. Aww. Hey, Ed. I thought she was cold, so I put a shirt on her to keep her warm. Yeah. Look at how this goof is sleeping. So I'm reading Small Game Hunting. I'm hoping to read another 30 pages. I'm definitely not going to DNF this. I just realized something that is resulting me not wanting to pick it up as much, and that is that this book is relentless. Like, it is just like constantly like not, it's constantly just punching you in the face all the time, and it's just like, I need a break. I need a break. And it's like so many bad things are happening, and it's just like there's nothing there to like grab onto. um I want that little bit of hope to hold on to, and I'm not finding it right now. Just everything's horrible and everything's bad. And then also the writing is relentless. And to be honest, it's getting a little tiring. She's trying to put so much impact into each sentence, and it's sometimes feels a bit repetitive, and sometimes feels just like you're trying too hard. Just kind of let the story tell itself. Trust your readers that they're gonna get it. You don't constantly have to punch them in the face with insights. um, and it's starting to almost become unbelievable with how insightful some people are, but also horrible things keep happening, and it's just kind of like, it's a little frustrating. So I'm gonna read it. I am still enjoying it, for the most part, but I am having some issues with it right now. But I'm hoping to get another 30 pages read, so that I can get to the section called dinner, and hopefully have some hope at the end there. Yeah, and I finished. Oh, this is Son of a Trickster. I've read quite a few in that, and I realized something with this too. I'm just complaining. I am enjoying these reads, but I just want to come up with these things that I'm coming up with. So, Son of a Trickster. What is kind of annoying to me is that I don't know how old Eden Robinson is, but she's making references to a lot of like things that young people do, and like texting how they think young people text, and I always get a little bit of cringe when that happens. Like, a lot of young people use full sentences and like type out you instead of typing just the letter U. And like, we don't refer to our iPods as iPods and stuff like that. Like, she's very like trying to make these references to young people, but it's not landing. I find. But aside from that, yeah, it's good. And then the story from Radicalized, which is the primary title of the book, but also a story within it, is really interesting, because it has you sympathizing with someone that we would call a terrorist, and it also has you thinking about other issues. So he seems to be talking about like each one has this big primary issue that he's talking about, but then there's so many different other things that he's addressing within the text as well. Yeah, so it's really quite good. So I'm making the decision to just set aside my philosophy book right now, How the World Thinks, just because it's getting to be like too much information. I need a little like study break, I guess. So I have Murderbot book 2 on my phone. I'm not sure what the exact title is. So between music and that's what I'm going to be listening to for the rest of this week. Hi, so it's time to wrap up my reading week. I diversified my reading quite a bit. I decided not to just read one of the Canada Books reads. I decided to try and read them all, except for one that I'm picking up next week. So I finished Radicalized by Cory Doctorow, which is a series of 4 novellas, and I'm going to do individual reviews for each of these books, so I won't talk too much about them. But each story dealt with intersectionality and different social justice issues. There was issues with immigration, technology, and copyright issues. Police interactions with racial minorities, rich versus poor. There's so many different things going on, and I loved every story. And then I made good headway into We Have Always Been Here by Samra Habib, which is subtitled A Queer Muslim Memoir. And it's really good. Just blazing through that. What I think that story does is it takes some of the ideas that are in small game hunting and just like compresses them. So like she'll accomplish in like 1 page what small game hunting is trying to do in like 50 pages, and that's part of the reason why I'm getting frustrated with small game hunting, because it's taking so long and it's feeling very repetitive, and I talked about that earlier, so I won't talk too much about it now. And then I also started reading Son of a Trickster by Eden Robinson, and that's a good story. I'm really having trouble with the fact that this kid is only supposed to be like 14, 15 years old, though. When I started reading, I was like, okay, he's like in grade 12, you know, this behavior is, you know, not acceptable, but it's, you know, more understandable. But now knowing that he's like 14, like drinking and doing drugs and doing all this stuff, I'm just like, that's a bit, you know, his personality doesn't feel like a 14, 15-year-old. And I can see that his situation made him grow up faster, but it still doesn't, I don't know. It still makes me uncomfortable. And I guess that's part of the point too, isn't it? Is that it's supposed to make you uncomfortable, that this situation is going on for someone so young. And then I decided to stop listening to How the World Thinks. I'm not DNFing it. I was just getting overwhelmed with all the philosophy, and to be honest, a bit of it was getting a bit repetitive. He seems to really like Japanese and Chinese philosophy, and will go over those again and again and again. He doesn't so much like Indian, and when he talks about Indian philosophy, he's mostly talking about like Hindu philosophy. He's not talking about the other parts of India, so that's interesting as well. Yeah, I already talked about my issues with his biases, so I decided to listen to some other audiobooks, some shorter ones that are, you know, much easier listening, I guess. And I listened to Artificial Condition, which is the 2nd book in the Murderbot series by Martha Wells, and that was entertaining. I liked the evolution of the character so far, and I look forward to reading the other ones in the series. And then I started listening to We Are Legion, We Are Bob, which made the booktube rounds a while ago, and it's about a man who gets his consciousness transferred into a computer and is given the task to then go explore the universe. And it's the very basic concept of it. But he's in this world that is controlled by the faith, and it's a theocracy. The United States is no longer the United States. They are faith, a theocracy, and it's really interesting seeing the dynamics there. So I believe that's all I've read this month, or this it feels like a month, all this week. So that's it. Thank you for watching.